I'm Matt Broughton, and with me today is John Chyriwsky, the Head of Marketing at Fincore. Now, I wonder if perhaps I could start by just asking you simply, what's the story of Fincore?
Absolutely. Fincore's been around in various guises for a long time in the industry. It's a really key pioneer of the industry. So it started life as a company called Finsoft, creating risk management software for banks and hedge funds. And then it had a head office in London and a development arm in Belgrade. And then back in the 90s, when you started to get the emergence of online gambling, the founders, Predrag Popovic and Soren Christensen, they saw a need for their software in that emerging online sports betting market. So they went on to create a software called Margin Maker, which was an incredibly successful sportsbook engine. Even today, it's still the most widely used sportsbook engine in the United States and in many other places too. Margin Maker and its later version, Margin Maker 2, it delivered so much success for Finsoft, they ended up selling the company in 2007 to, at the time, GTech, now known as IGT. But Finsoft still had some very large bank and government customers, such as the Home Office or the European Central Bank, and they were spun out to become a new company, Fincore, as we know it today. And in 2013, Fincore decided to re-enter the gaming and sports betting market with pretty much the same core team from Finsoft that had wrote Margin Maker, but with some new talent blended in. And that pretty much takes us to where we are today. Fincore's got some very deep, long-lasting customer relationships that either use Margin Maker or that we've built custom software for. And with those customers, we've got an incredible reputation for delivering with quality and on time. So that's where we are today. We've spent the last 5 or 6 years creating our new software, Tree. It's a full modular universe of operator software for the gaming and sports betting industry. It's our best software yet, and we're really proud of it. I think, it's hard. It's been built to address the key challenges operators face in acquiring and keeping customers today, which is time. The player's clock is ticking. And in this digital age, as consumers, we've got so used to things working intuitively or in a really personalized way, we get frustrated very quickly if something isn't easy and we move on. And that means operators only have a short window. So they need to give players the right thing at exactly the right time, and Tree delivers on that.
With that in mind and utilising that experience, what do you think the outlook is for the industry over the next few years?
I think as an industry globally, we're seeing some really, really exciting growth. I mean, there's a lot of excitement over markets like Brazil and Africa. And I think, we at Fincore, we certainly expect that to continue over the next decade. A lot of that growth is being driven by new markets regulating or markets that have been monopolies opening up and licensing and becoming more available to competition. I mean, let's be honest, it's been a rough few years globally, right? And most states are struggling financially. So if a state's got the opportunity to regulate an entertainment activity and drive up tax revenues, governments are going to take it. And that's what's really driving all this regulation. So the opportunity is there. The challenge is, as an operator, can you take it? And we think one of the big risks operators have, and one of the reasons they'll be held back from taking these opportunities, will be their tech stack. Every one of these new emerging markets and opportunities is in its own location, has its own regulations, has its own local quirks. If you're on a white label platform or your technology partner is in charge of your roadmap instead of you, then you've got a problem, because any changes you want to make, you have to join your queue, or it's out of your control. So you're putting your future success, you're leaving it hostage under someone else's control. Basically, if you're an ambitious operator with ambitious plans, at some point you're going to need your own tech stack, and it's no good waiting till you actually need it before you start thinking about it.
But creating your own tech stack is quite a huge challenge. So how does Fincore help companies with that?
Well, yeah, of course, building your own tech stack is a massive challenge. There's been lots and lots of attempts by many companies, and most end in failure. But at Fincore, as we discussed before, we've got a deeply experienced team, and we've built multiple platforms before. So we can take the risk out of it for operators. We can build a platform for them and then we can run it with them for a while and hand it over when they're ready. And because we've already created Tree, our modular range of services, we can take a module as a starting point and customize that to fit a specific operator's needs. We've recently done this with Zbet in Nigeria. And by taking that approach, we've been able to get them migrated from their old tech stack onto a customized version of Tree and live in only 6 weeks, which is incredible speed. We wouldn't want to do every project in that time frame, but we were able to do it because our team is experienced enough at building and customizing platforms. We already know a lot of the things that can go wrong, so we can anticipate them. And that's how we can really help operators build and own their own tech stack.
Okay, so tell us a bit more about Tree and why is that such a good solution for operators?
Well, firstly, Tree is truly modular. The different elements have been designed to work brilliantly on their own. It works even better if you take it all together, of course, but the standalone elements are very high quality. So you can either take a module such as Sportsbook, our retail gaming server, player account management, payments, bonus, or our data module individually and integrate it into your own ecosystem. Or you can take a few modules or whatever solution best meets your business needs. We're currently working on deliveries for clients in the US, the UK, Europe, Africa, and they're a mix of specific modules and the whole lot. But what makes it special, at the start we talked about time. A player's clock is ticking, and we need to enable the operator to give the customer the right thing at exactly the right time to engage them or to keep them engaged. Tree's got real-time data and automation built right at its core. Now, it's one thing collecting data, but knowing what to do with it is a whole other level. So Tree's a platform that thinks quickly, and it can turn data into actionable insights. It tells you the next step you need to take with the player. And then with automation, it can take the step for you. So yes, you'd set some predefined rules, and if the event falls within those rules, the system can manage itself. So that frees your people. They don't need to intervene in everything. They can focus on exceptions and managing those. And the other way Tree can really help with timing is personalization. The more personalized the experience, the less time it takes for a player to make their bet or to start playing the game that they want to play. So Tree's good at learning what players like and ensuring that's served to them first, enabling action from the player in as fewer clicks as possible. And that fewer clicks as possible is the holy grail.
And what's next for Fincore? Anything new and exciting on the way?
Well, as I said, we've got some deliveries for Tree due to launch this year, and then the really exciting thing that's getting everyone's juices flowing at Fincore is the launch of Tree Future. So this is going to help us take the time and speed of interacting with customers and personalization to the next level. So using AI and machine learning, we've got a really precise player life cycle valuation tool and player segmentation tool. So with that, we can predict and understand how much value you're going to get from a player over their life. And of course, that can help inform whether you should invest in a player, or, if a player predicts that it's likely to churn, you may be better using that investment with a player that you're going to keep for a long time to drive engagement with them. So it helps give really informed decisions. But when it's combined together with our machine learning player segmentation and marketing tool, it really radically changes your marketing effectiveness, because you understand at what stage of the customer life cycle the player is in, and that then tells you what campaign you should serve to them. So, the way it would work, initially you would run a few campaigns of your own, and then machine learning would look at what's working and what's not working and just automatically start to adjust it and run its own campaigns to radically improve your campaign effectiveness. So I think that's one thing. And then the other is super personalization. So, right now we can sort of serve what players like and make sure they see that first. But where we're working on to get to is by combining all the data points we have with AI, we want to get to a point where the customer logs onto their sportsbook app, the bet slip is already filled in with their most likely bet and the amount. So you get into one-click betting, and we think that could be very powerful.